Hello everybody and welcome to another workshop video of Tabletop Junkie, brought to you by me, Tabletop Junkie. If you guys can just please hold for just a brief moment, I'm going to mute myself and I'm going to clean up the Castles and Crusades section so that we may look at more friendly. I totally forgot to do that. That is my bad, and we will get started here momentarily. Okay, that definitely looks a lot better. I do apologize for that, folks. I did not know we had that kind of a situation going on. I should have known, though, because I don't really change a whole lot while we're, doing other things. But we are here, and we are doing a Castles and Crusades workshop. This is video number 14, and I'm going to introduce 3 new characters to the fold. If I do sound like I'm going off in the distance, I do apologize. I still have not found a way to I don't know, make this work. It is kind of a different setup, and I'm still trying to get used to it. I did do a change. I did rearrange my desk in my entire office, which is very upsetting, but it is what it is. All right, so we're gonna go with the first one. All right, let's get into some screen share here. As soon as I can find it. Oh boy. Do I have a primary screen share? Oh, right there. There we go. Only that it's not supposed to look like that. Mm. Yeah, I'm not liking how that already looks. Ugh, I've made so many changes to this, so we're going to have to just go with this one. I'm going to have to get it wider here. Too many changes and not enough there we go. Alright, we'll just leave it like that. Alright, so this is Krag. He is an Orc Fighter, lawfully evil. So we are showing off the Orc today because I homebrewed this Orc right here. It's much like the Pathfinder Orcs. They get a +3 to their strength as a racial modifier. They get a +3 to the strength and a -1 to intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. So where they fail with intelligence, wisdom, and charisma, and pretty much possibly a little bit lower with dex and con, they make up with an +3 strength. So I rolled a 15 for his strength, and so with the +3, that puts it up to 18. It does seem kind of a little OP, but I figure That's pretty much what the only thing he's good at. He's got +3 in strength, 0 in dex, +1 in con, and then a 0 is 0 in wisdom, and then a -1 in charisma. So really, and his biggest two attributes, because he's an orc fighter, is strength and con. So everything else is technically he's gonna have to roll pretty high on. If he was to try and do a charisma roll, he would kind of actually really suck on it. Because he would have to score, well, if it was just a straight charisma roll, it'd be 18 or better. With that -1, he'd have to score 19 or better on the dice. And then if it gets difficult, he's pretty much in the nat 20 range. So you can see where, yes, he's got the strengths, he's got the goods, he's going to slay anyone in a fight. It's going to be hard to take him down. It's going to suck all the same. But at the same time, his communication skills suck. He's not very wise and can't really see anything coming at him. He's not very smart either. He's very durable and resistant, but he's not very quick. So I designed the orc to be an orc that can take a lot of damage and that can give out a lot of damage. That, to me, that's always been the orcs. So I will show you my homebrew rules. I'm going to actually pull them up for you, because I do have homebrew rules for orcs. I have not seen orcs in Castles and Crusades. I have seen orcs as monsters, but not as player characters. And I designed them as a player character because, people might like to play orcs. I wanted to give my players the option. So I do have some flavor text here. Talking about the orcs. Orcs do get, so the racial trait and abilities is orcs do get dark vision up to, they can see in pure darkness up to 60 feet. So if they're in light sensitivity, if they are like in daylight environments or whatnot, they do suffer a -1 penalty rolls to hit when fighting in daylight areas. We have not came across that yet. Inside my Castles Crusades games that I host on Friday nights with my friends. But we're about to actually, we're about to. And then they're resistant to disease. Orcs are resistant against disease. They get a +4 to all disease savings throw, or things that might hurt them. And then here is a list of things that they might actually do, and then they receive a +1 to hit with that weapon. Once again, they can move 30 feet. They're medium-sized creatures. Their typical classes are fighters and barbarians. Their languages are common, orc, dwarven, giant, gnoll, goblin, and elven. And once again, they get a -1 to intelligence, wisdom, and charisma, but a +3 to strength. So, it fits the design that I wanted Krag to be at. We didn't really have much of a... So, Krag is pretty good. He gets a +3 to his modifier. He is an orc fighter, so he already has a +1 BTH. And he already has a 2 for miscellaneous, because he has weapons training with a halberd, which is fine, and he can weapon specialization. Weapons training gives him a +1 here. Weapon specialization gives him a +1 here and here. And then with that +3 and that, he can do damage anywhere from 5 to 14. So, yeah, bit OP, right? Well, it doesn't mean there's not something that will eventually take him out. We didn't really finish his description or personality yet. But I will by the time I pick him up in the other adventure. Now, there is one other thing I did. Now, we did pick Feral, which is sort of like a rage ability for him. He gets a +4 to, I believe, his strength. And that is also an advantage that I actually created on my own as well. That was a homebrew one. They get a +4 to their strength when attacking, but they get a -4 to their AC, and they suffer fatigue, I believe. Let me double check that. So, good to use, very powerful, but in the end, not unbeatable. Definitely not unbeatable. Not even close. Just difficult. See. +4, no, they only gain a +4 damage with a successful hit, but suffers a -4 to armor class until they have rested. So, Krag here. So, poor little Krag here. -4, that makes him at once he rests, he'll go from, before he rests, if he uses that ability, he goes from 15 to 11, because his AC is at that. So it'll make him easier to hit, and they only have 11 hit points. He only has 11 hit points, but that's because he's a fighter. If he was anything else, it'd be a little bit under that. So, yeah, he can take a hit, he can take damage. And then I just gave him some miscellaneous stuff here. He's unburdened until he reaches 24 EV, and then 25 to 72, he's burdened, and then overburdened at 73, he's only got 16, so 71 gold and 9 silver is what he's going to join the party with. He's got black hair, he's a male, age 13 with blue eyes, he's 6'7" and 258 pounds. So, definitely not unbeatable. So I definitely approve of this homebrew section to be in one of my games. I hope maybe you guys probably will take the, probably might say, hey, Tabletop Junkie, we noticed that you homebrewed an orc, can you upload it to Troll Games or somewhere where we can see it, I'd be more than willing to do that. I'd be more than willing to probably share that link in my description when I do a bit more of these, or when somebody brings that up. And I do want to address the viewer in the room, if not all the viewers. So far we have Longshot, who did a shout out. Castles and Crusades and Troll Games are great. Yes, they are. I'm a big fan of them. I have became a big fan of them. I love Castles and Crusades. It is my favorite. So, all right. So another character class that I am getting ready to approve. We're going to talk about Cam here. Cam is an arcane thief, half elf. Lawfully good. A lot of people have said that the arcane thief, they're very scared or using, or they just don't want to use it because it seems to be on a whole new level than what they're used to. Let's take a look at that, shall we? I have actually taken time to analyze this. I've gone through the stats. There's nothing out of the ordinary there. It's built like a normal character. He only has an AC of 12, HP of 9, 30 feet. Okay, alright, fair enough. D8. He uses a rapier. However, I did not put the BTH there, so let's figure that out real quick. I'm going to pull up the classes book. I love the classes book. I did a review on the classes book. And Longshot, if you want to know where my reviews are, you can go right through the Castle Crusades playlist. It's on my thing. Character classes. Here we go. Oh, and I pulled it up for you guys, but I don't want you guys to see it. I own it. I purchased it, but it's the adamant. It's, go ahead and buy it for yourself if you want it. All right, so the Arcane Thief starts off with a BTH of... Oh, it actually does not say. Really? Did not know that, huh? Okay, well then I will go to the Adventurer's Backpack, because it's got to be in there. Oh, let's do Player's Archive, actually. I just bought the Player's Archive, so let's do this one. Okay, BTH is a 0. Okay, I kind of figured that. There we go. Kind of figured that. He gets no mod because he has a strength of 9. So he gets no mod all the way around. It's just going to be a straight up thing. So, yeah, 9, 11, 13, 15, 13, 13. Pretty fair. Plus 1. His, for intelligence is wisdom is best for the Arcane Thief. So I'm not really seeing... So he's got a +1 to con, a +1 in he's got a +1 to con, Constitution, Intelligence, Wisdom, and Charisma. 13, 15, 13, 13, 11, and 9. Okay. He's not much of a fighter. So let's look at some of his things. He gets a Grimoire, which has 39 spell levels. So a lot of people think that breaks the character. I love the homage covers for the most recent printings of the PHB, Castle Crusades, and the Monster and Treasures. Yes, me too. I actually have the 8th printing. I'm not looking at buying the 9th because I did talk to someone from Troll Games to see the difference on it, and they said they only changed the wording for 9 pages, but they did not change the meaning or add or subtract anything. They rearranged a few things, and that was it. So I saw the 9th printing. I was like, yeah, I don't need. And they said the 8th printing was still good to use. They said all the printings are, so You know, that's how, and that's the biggest thing I love about Troll Lord games, is all the printings are still good from, you know, even first printing is still good to use, and it's still relevant today. And they're at ninth printing for the player's book, the third printing for the Castle Keeper's book, and fifth printing for the monsters and treasures, I believe. So, 39 spell levels. Now, everyone's thinking like, oh my god, he could have 39 spells. Well, yeah, if they're all level 0. Okay, so here's how it works for the Arcane Thief. If they're level 0s or 1 levels, if they're 0 level or first level spell, they count as 1 spell level. So you could have 39. You could have a combination of any 39 spells between 0 and 1. Now, at level 2, they take up 2 spell levels. So let's do the math here. Let's say I have 4 level 2s. Let's say I have 1 level 3, 2 level 2s, and then 3 level 1s and 4 level 0s, right? Here's how to do it. We said 1 level 3, so that counts as a 3. We said 2 level 2s, which is 4, because 2 times 2 is 4. That uses up, alright, so we're at 7. And we said 3 level 1s, which 1 times 3 is 3. And then 4 level 0s, which they count as 1 spell slot at least, so 1 times 4 is 4. That's 14. So then you go to 39 minus 14. That's what they mean by spell levels. I have 25 spell levels that I can use. And if you make them permanent in the Grimoire, then you never truly forget them. And you're thinking like, oh, that could break everything. Well, yeah, maybe that could break the game. Do you think so? How easy? Well, first off, in order for the Arcane Thief to use a spell, it has to be in the Grimoire. And once a spell is used, it goes away. Now, if you cast a permanency spell in there, then that spell level slot is used up. So if I cast on all of my 14 spells at their current spell levels, if I cast permanency, then that means that those spells are permanently in that book. There's no getting rid of them. And that means I only have 25 spell levels that I can use. If I fill that up, say, with 2 9th level spells and make them permanent, that's 18. So I only have 7 slots left. Now you're thinking, well, that's pretty strong and blah, 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 blah. Here's a hint for you guys. How hard is it to burn the Grimoire? Grimoires are not magically protected. And it does not say that they are in the book whatsoever. So you could just piss off your players by just burning the Grimoire. Big whoop. Big freaking whoop. I'm not too worried about that. I'm not too worried about them being mad at me for that. So that's one way you get rid of it, and then they lose all their spells. Because they cast the spells from the Grimoire. That is their weakness. You get rid of that, they're not casting spells, they're not slinging spells. They're just as useless as, they're just as useful as, well, they're pretty useless, actually, at that point. At that point, the class is pretty much useless. So, and then one of their other things that I did want to mention is I skipped to the other one. Their ability to spell casting. Okay, let's talk about that for a minute. So, Arcane Thieves can cast spells from their Grimoire and or spells they have stolen. Now, if you've stolen a spell in a current fight, you have 8 hours to put it in the Grimoire, or you have to use it. If you use it, you only get 1 use out of it. Then you got to steal another spell to use it again. That's a big plot point, because if you have no spells, and you take one, but then you can't record it right away, you use it, then it's gone. And then, what if here's another thing. What makes you think you're going to go up against a spellcaster? Ha! Gotcha. No spells for you to steal, and you have no spells to cast. And the Grimoire only contains spells that you currently have stolen, and it does state that the CK should make them work for them stealing the spells. You ain't gonna just start off with any spells. You can. There is a way for that. Oh, excuse me. I am yawning. You do start off with a certain number of spells, but until the permanency spell is casted, which you're only allowed to cast once per day, and that does not get any better. You're only allowed to cast that once per day. And once it's casted, it's casted. Simple as that. Let's see here. I believe that is retain. Let's see. Yes, retain a spell. The Arcane Thief can choose spells in their grimoire to make permanent, so does not disappear from the grimoire. When cast, a permanent spell can be cast once per day from the grimoire. Yeah, you're not going to use that all the time. Alright, identify. Arcane Thieves possess great knowledge of magic items and their powers. An Arcane Thief can identify the abilities of a magic as an... Okay, that's just an intelligence thing. And then Steal Essence. An Arcane Thief is able to feed upon the arcane energy of magical creatures and arcane spellcasters. Magical creatures and arcane spellcasters. Remember that phrase, because let me tell you guys something. I went through the monster manual and all the different types of monsters. I think if it's not limited to magical creatures, the magical creature type, there is only, out of 17, all but 9 types of monsters you can do that to. So that's like 7, about 8 or 9 types only. Oh, maybe it's the other way around. 8 or 9 types only. That leaves... So GMs, here's a pro tip. That leaves 8 types you can send an Arcane Thief up to that won't be able to do that. So that ability is made useless. So I'm not really seeing where they're on a completely different level. Without a grimoire, they can't cast spells. Yeah, they can start off with a kick-ass arsenal, but, you know, once that grimoire is gone, it's over with. They can only cast spells that they have stolen and written in the grimoire, or they can steal a spell and use it within an 8-hour time period without recording into grimoire, and it still disappears and you don't remember it. You know, and then if you even put it in your grimoire for a later date, for a rainy day, and you use it, it still disappears without the retain, unless you use the retain spell, which is you cast a permanency spell on it. Steal spell. Alright, the Arcane Thief is able to steal any arcane spell during the casting. The action is taken immediately after an arcane spellcaster casts a spell. The Arcane Thief can take no other action during that round. Upon a successful intelligence check, the CL equal to the level of the victim, the Arcane Thief steals a spell from the caster, and the caster loses a spell without it creating any effect. The Arcane Thief must either cast a spell or store it in the grimoire within 8 hours of stealing it. The Arcane Thief can steal any spell equal to or below their level plus their intelligence bonus. So I can only steal... So my character, Cam, can only steal their level, which is level 1, and their intelligence modifier, which is +1. So level 2 or under is all I can steal. Wow, so I can't steal a level 9. Not until that picks up. So I can start stealing level 9 spells at level 9 and above. Or even at the very lowest level 8 and above. Alright. So we went through this analysis here because what I wanted to do is show you guys that I don't feel that the Arcane Thief is a broken character. Or is even on a different level. I think it's on the same level. On a mechanic-wise, it looks like the same level here. On a spellcaster-wise, it's probably on a much lower level if you think about it. Because if you don't have the spell in the grimoire, you can't cast it. If you have it stored in your mind, you have to use it within 8 hours. You can only steal the essence of magical creatures or spellcasters, which there are other types of monster types that can cast spells or spell-like abilities. I think those will be good, but there are some that are completely mundane, and so that will be useless. So that makes pretty much Steal Essence useless. Steal Spell is useless, and Retain Spell can only be done once per day regardless. So I don't really see a big issue here. And then, of course, if you want to get more spells, like say you use up all your 39 spell levels, you have to get a different grimoire. And as a GM, you don't have to make that super easy. It's not just simply go buy a book specifically, or a notebook specifically. You can make them buy something like a spellbinding leather, have them spend like 20 gold on it. You know, you don't have to make it easy on them. So we are going to give this class a whirl in my solo play. on the next workshop that we do. So definitely there. All right. Longshot, are you still with us today? All right, let's talk about the rune mark. Yes, Longshot is still here. Awesome. How you liking it so far? Alright, let's talk about the rune mark. I have been told that this class is also on its own separate level, which I don't agree with either. Once again, just like every other character, you have basic stats. These stats are low. I'm 7, 9, 9, 9, 11, and 14. The only thing they got going for them is a +1 in their charisma, because Rune Mark is a charisma-based class. Oh, looky here, you know. So, not a fighter, D6, no constitution bonus, 6 HP, 13, has some hide, 13 AC, easy to hit. Alright, let's talk about the runes. Alright, so runes. So, rune marks have the ability of casting runes based on codices that they have studied. Ability to cast rune spells gains 1 bonus base rune for each charisma attribute bonus. So they can cast 4 runes per day plus their attribute in charisma, which for him is freaking, it's 5. Yeah, it's 5. That's it. Bonus runes, yep. So whatever, you know, it's gonna be their base runes plus their charisma bonus if they have any. If they have 0, then it's just 4. Alright, they also have eidetic memory, which rune marks study the vastly complicated language of creation and the many variations of its written and spoken form. To master this language, their minds are trained. Okay, so basically that's just a language spell. Or not, it's not even a language spell. Eidetic memory is just them remembering what they're studying. That's it. So between runes and bonus runes, I'm not seeing anything majorly like, oh man, this is gonna break the game. Yeah, not there. We're not there. This is Val, by the way. She is a human rune mark. Lawful neutral. Roughly about, she's got red hair, brown eyes, female, 6'6", 180 pounds, and roughly 17 years old. Where my half-elf, Arcane Thief, is blonde, blue eyes, blonde hair, male, 23 years of age, 125 pounds, and 6 foot tall. These are some really tall people. So, they also have alchemy. The rune mark practices alchemy. As such, they must learn a variety of crafts from metallurgy to chemistry to the properties of flesh, blood, and bone of a wide variety of beasts and monsters. There's more to it, but I'm not going to read the whole thing. And then it looks like rune codices. Well, yeah. Now, I don't have anything here for the rune mark to show what codices they have, but we're going to pull up some of the codices now. That is also, I believe, in the Adventure Spellbook. Which we are going to pull up the Adventure Spellbook for you guys. Alright. It looks like it might be in here. No promises. Not in this one. I thought it was this one. Let's try Rune Lore. Rune Lore is pretty good. Here we go. Rune Magic. Alright, so mastering runes. A rune mark can only master a rune he has translated. A mastered rune is a rune that the mark... Okay, so basically you start off with so much of that. And then it starts talking about the lore between the runes. The basic ones that you want to start off with is Runes of the Initiate. Oh, you know what? I know which one I'm missing out of this. I believe... I don't want to think it's the Player's Archive. That's a book I just bought. I'm freaking happy with it. Nope, it is not this one. Oh, what is the one with all the spells? I'm trying to think. Not Adventurous Spellbook. I mean, that has a lot of spells in it, don't get me wrong, but not what I'm looking for. Adventurous Backpack, maybe? Oh, that was... Oh, I was already in Adventurous Backpack. Okay. Oh, I keep getting those mixed up. Okay, here we go. Alright, here we go. No, alright. Now we're gonna get... Alright, Runic Magic. Here we go. Runes of the Initiates. Alright. So, we're gonna read a couple of these. Let's see here. I'm gonna roll... For Runes of the Initiate, I'm gonna roll, 2d20. See what I get. Or no, you know what? I'm gonna just roll a d20 twice and see what I get. We're going to do 2 random ones, and I'm going to write them in on the character. Alright. First one is going to be 7. We're going to look at Darkness. Alright, so we're going to go down here where the Foul. I'm going to put Runes of the Initiate. Because I figure you're going to study these first. So we're going to do Darkness, which I believe is an Intelligence. And then... we're going to go to 10. Horn of Plenty, which is a Charisma. Alright, I'm going to read those two. And let's see what they do. Okay, because I don't know what they do. I mean, I've got a friend who's playing a Rune Mark this Saturday. It won't be on anything that I'm streaming, but we'll see how it plays out for him. I've already got his stuff there. So, Darkness. Alright, so Darkness extinguishes any normal natural light source, such as fire, candles, torches, etc. in a 20-foot radius. No attribute check is required. However, for Darkness to extinguish magical light, the Rune Mark must make a successful attribute check. The CL equal to 10. Oh, wow, that's difficult. Plus the item's bonus. In the case of light or similar spell, the CL is equal to the level of the one who casts the light spell. Whoa! So, wow. So if it was like the same level as you, or like even one level higher, that's difficult. Items with no bonus receives a +1, +2, +3 at the CK's discretion. Oh, nice. Duration is C below. 20-foot radius. Well, it says here radius is 100 feet. SR no. Comp S. SV none, CT1. What does CT mean? I keep forgetting that one. If you don't know what something means, what it means, go to the Player's Handbook. Always refer to your books. Magic, here we go. Let's see, CV, I believe is spell resistance. Oh, we'll figure it out because I'm about to freaking pull it up here. Casting time. Okay, so casting time is 1, but it doesn't say duration or D. Is duration D? Or does it mean something else? Range. Casting time. Savings throw, I believe, is CV. Duration. Huh. I am not sure. Okay. Duration, I imagine, would be D. So that seems weird. C below. I've got 20-foot radius, but it says here the range is 100 feet. Takes 1 round to cast. No spell resistance. Comp S. Component S, which is probably something weird. S. Somatic? Oh, yep, somatic. Okay. Which is precise movement. Alright. Huh. That might be a thing. Let me see here. Darkness, page 21. I'm gonna go in this other book here real quick. Darkness extinguishes light. Okay. 20-foot radius, no attribute check. SSC blow. Huh. That might be something I have to take a look at. Okay, so D is duration. So C below. I don't have a duration here. Unless it means it doesn't get extinguished unless the caster... Unless it... Okay. Another thing means... That's something I may have to talk to them about. It could mean there is no duration unless it gets extinguished by the caster or by the opponent. So that could be it there too. Alright, moving on. Let's go with Horn of Plenty. So, Horn of Plenty is Charisma. It's also range is Touch. Duration is 1 round per level. Somatic. Takes about 1 round to cast. When this rune is cast upon a drinking horn or similar vessel containing mead, the mead is blessed with knowledge and wisdom. The rune affects only 1 physical horn and lasts for 5 rounds, plus 1 per caster level. Ooh. Whoever drinks the entire horn gains a +1 bonus on all intelligence, charisma, and wisdom checks for the rune's duration. Once drained, the horn may be refilled and reused. However, it takes 3 rounds for the new mead to become potent. Any bonuses granted from drinking the second horn are cumulative. Oh, that's rich. If 3 horns are consumed by the same individual, they must make a Constitution save or pass out for 1d6 hours. The CL equal to the rune mark's level, of course. Wow, so there's a CL for that. So if Constitution isn't your thing and you go and you do a with a rune mark of 2, you're getting a natural 20. Because that would be 18 plus 2, yeah. For each horn consumed thereafter, the drinker must make a Constitution save with the CL going up by 5 each horn, as does the corresponding number of hours. For 4 hours, they would pass out for 5. Plus 1d6, or 1 to 6. For 5 horns, 10 plus 1 to 6 hours, and so on. That doesn't seem so bad. Alright. Let's go to the... Hang on, let me see here. See, that doesn't... May have to ask that. That's a good question. Oh, let me see if I can get a... Let me see here if I can get a hold of somebody. Because that's a good question about darkness, and I would like that kind of answered. Darkness extinguishes any normal natural light, such as fire. See, it still says C below, but it doesn't give a time frame. Huh. No attribute check is required, however, that for the darkness to extinguish magical light, the rune mark must make a successful attribute check. And it says 20-foot radius, but it's 100 feet all the way around. Maybe that's if you're within 100 feet. Ugh, that doesn't make any sense. I have to see if I can get some clarification on that. All right, we're not going to dwell on that much more. So yeah, it doesn't seem to be an overpowering class to me. The spells seem like any other spell, pretty much, and alchemy, and then language mastery is what else they get. The mastery of languages. I would say, you know what, we're going to run a test run with these, but most likely Orcs I've already approved of, and Arcane Thieves and Rune Marks I'm going to approve of, and my campaigns as well. Not right now. Orcs I will approve of right now because I already got someone playing one. But Arcane Thieves and Rune Marks will be in the future after I do a test run with them in my next video. That will be coming up here probably in a little bit. We will do a solo play. You will see them take on possibly some issues, and we'll see how the characters play out. I'm going to finish them up because I also don't have any secondary skills, and I do use secondary skills, and I do use the advantages to level off the character a little bit, such as that. And we'll see how well this character plays to see if they're truly on the next level. I don't think they are, to be honest. But that's my opinion. As of right now, that's my opinion until proven otherwise. Right now, as we see it, it's not really showing like, the class to be broken or to be on another level separate from the core classes. I think they are on the same level, and I'm willing to see what I can do to try and persuade. Not really persuade people. I mean, if you don't want to use them or have those flavors in the Castle Crusades game, that's fine. I mean, that's totally really up to you as a GM. For me, I guess I'm just trying to do these videos to show a bit things and maybe to debate about it a little bit. Friendly debate, nothing out of the ordinary, you know. So, we've been going for 42 minutes. I think we're going to call it a wrap up here. We went through the classes. I basically told you how you can get around some of their things, where you feel like if they're overpowered, you could just do this. If you feel like that this is a problem, you could just throw them up against this, and they're not really so much overpowered. I'm willing to see how well they do. I'm going to throw them, we're going to do a solo play. You'll even see me act a bit and be a fool. But the next workshop I will post on my Twitter, so keep an eye on that. And I will definitely keep an eye on this channel as I will actually be posting some more stuff regarding that. And we will have the solo play. So we are going to have 3 new characters join the other characters of 4 from the previous sessions. If you don't know what I'm talking about by the workshops, just go ahead and check out my previous workshops. There are 13 others. And they do range variously from, like, anywhere, I think, from 45 minutes to 2 hours at most. I try to keep all my streams under 2 hours. So, check those out. They will be joining up that team. We will have a team of seven characters that I will be using. I'm going to throw them up against something that they've never faced before, just to see how well they do. They are all still level 1, so, yeah. We'll probably throw them up against maybe some goblins or something. So, check me out next time, and then if I persuade you to say, yeah, these classes are not broken, or they're not on our level, they're on the same level, they're just a different dynamic, that's what I feel. In my opinion, I feel they're a different dynamic. But that's why I do these workshop videos, to prove it. No way to prove it until you throw them in a game and see how well they do, or how crappy they do, or if they're like gods or not, you know. Go figure. So, alright, Longshot, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I do appreciate that. Thank you for hanging in there if you've been here for the whole time. I just love Castle Crusades. I can't really complain about their multi-class system. I'm just not keen on using it right now because there are so many different classes that you can kind of choose from. Such as, like I said, Arcane Thief, Rune Mark, Barbarian, Bard, Cleric, Druid. Come on, I mean, the list goes on. You got 13 from the core book, and then you've got so much more. I have not even counted them all up yet, but I think you've got like 20 or 30 of them altogether, so crazy. Maybe we'll sit down and count them all the way through. In some of those books. I will go through them all. Plus, you actually get more coming from the Mythos series books, the ones where they talk about the Egyptians, the Nordics, and all that stuff, and adds them in good flavor into the game. So, yeah. Well, anyway, I'm going to not take up any more of you guys' time. I want to tell everyone to work hard, play hard, game hard. Game on, everybody. Have a great and wonderful night, and Longshot, thank you so much for joining me. It has been great and been keeping me company. All right, everybody, have a good night.